Today was a great day to try out something a little bit different. We're just going to do a single question today, but I'm going to bring Kevin in because he did most of the research on this. And let me read out the question for you. This is Alan Shore. He says, "Hello, John, I have a question. What kinds of vegetable preserves were in the 18th century cuisine in North America that helped fight scurvy in the winter seasons?" So it's a really good question, but there's more to the question, obviously, than just the question. And when it comes to 18th century scurvy, there's a lot more to it. And did they even know that vegetable preserves were going to help with scurvy in the 18th century?
Okay, well, what we found is it's really right during the 18th century that they begin to make the connection between diet and scurvy. That there's an obvious connection between those who, people who have a lack of fresh vegetables in their diet, they're more prone to scurvy. And that was especially the case for soldiers and sailors who were often living off just salt rations, just salted meats. And there were actually publications written on this.
Right.
Let's see, the treatise on the scurvy, I have a copy here, the third edition by James Lind. It was kind of a sentinel work on scurvy and how to deal with it, how to prevent it, how to treat it. And he makes a strong argument for the connection of dietary remedies. Right. Specifically, Alan asks if there were vegetable preserves. Of course, we talked about sauerkraut.
Right.
Yes, and how it was used. George Washington ordered sauerkraut for the troops to be fed during the winter.
And Cook, I think, did sauerkraut, yeah.
But there were also very specific things that were prepared as well. Spruce beer. And we have Peter Kalm from the mid-18th century talks about the preparation of spruce beer. And there was a recognized connection between spruce beer and scurvy. And in fact, there are records. I can't remember which fort it was. Do you recall? Was it? I dare not say.
Niagara?
I thought it was Niagara.
Right.
One of the forts, the northern forts, they ran out of molasses one winter, and something like 50 soldiers died from scurvy because they couldn't make their spruce beer. There was also another herb that we ran across. Let's see, how do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Cochlearia, also called scurvy grass or spoonwort. They made a tea from that. They made ale. They made salads. Yes, and they recognized the connection between eating that herb and the treatment and prevention of scurvy. And we now know that the leaves in scurvy grass or spoonwort is high in vitamin C.
Right.
So yes, they did have specific knowledge of treatment, preventive measures for scurvy. They made that connection to dietary factors, and there were foods specifically set aside for that.
Well, and you can see the need for the military to understand scurvy. It was so debilitating and dangerous to their fighting effectiveness that's where the research is really coming from for a lot of this stuff. The military wants to know how to keep their people healthy.
Yeah. I think, John, I wouldn't be surprised if we do an episode sometime in the future on spruce beer. There's a great blog, by the way. In the meantime, we'll put a link to that below. Some very interesting information on the history of spruce beer, how it was used for scurvy, and it's very well documented, too.
Yeah. It's not our blog, but somebody else's that we found. Excellent piece.
Right.
Okay, there you have it. There's the ideas for scurvy and canned vegetables or preserved vegetables. There's a lot here. There's so much so that, just covering this in 5 minutes, it doesn't do it justice. So we will definitely revisit this in the future, maybe when we do spruce beer. Thank you so much for these great questions and all the things you do for us when you're sharing our videos, your great comments, all those things help us in what we do. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button up here. That'll take you to a spot where you can subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching.